Okay, so I'm going to say something general about all types of questions, and then say something specific about free response questions. So between the questions, so we have this begin questions and end questions. So all of the questions are going to be in the questions environment, and you have to have at least one question, or it will throw an error. So when you have a question here, this is the question command here corresponds to the number one here. The first thing that you do, if you want, you give it a number of points. So let's say this is going to be 10 points. So you do, so the question command has an optional argument. Remember, optional arguments you put in the hard brackets. This says you want the question to count as 10 points. This here says you want to add all of the points together. So when I compile this in the grade table here, it's going to change question 1 to 10, and then the total should be 10 as well. Sometimes you have to compile it a few times, especially if you're like doing it on your computer and not through the website here. So it says 10 points there. That's the first thing it does. Then it gives 10 points there, and then it gives a total of the points there. Sometimes when you do the points, you have to compile it a few times. So the other thing is, so before there was an add points command there. That's not necessary because it's up there. The add points command just says to add the points. Okay, so all questions, whether they're free response, multiple choice, whatever, you can assign a point value, and it shows up here in the grade table. The link that I'll put for the overleaf page where it talks about the exam class also talks about how to do bonus questions and things like that. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is a free response question. So let's just ask a free response question. I'm having trouble coming up with a math question now. What is okay, well, what is this? All right, so let me compile it. Notice that I'm just doing normal LaTeX commands here. If I wanted to use the align environment, you can use the align environment, or whatever normal environments you wanted to use, you can use that as well here. So what is sine x, the antiderivative of sine x squared over x? All right, so there's a couple of things that we can do. We can either just leave it blank like this and give students a chance to work out, or what I like to do is use an environment called a solution or box. So, okay, now what this is going to do, there's a command up above that I'll show you that has been commented out. When you do the print answers command, which is now commented out, it will display the answers. And when you don't comment it, or when it is commented out, it won't display the answers. I know that was confusing. Let me just demonstrate this. So solution or box, you give it a height. I'm going to say 7 inches. And now what should happen is that it should give a solution box, roughly 7 inches. Okay, I like to make it go down to the end of the page, so let me do this with 8 inches. Maybe there's a command you can put there to always make it fill the page. That was too far. So the reason, what happened there is it was too far. I made it too big, so it just went on to the next page. So let's see if 7.5 inches will work. Okay, so now if you have it like this, if you compile it with the print answers command commented out, what happens is it gives you a 7.5 inch box. Okay, if we write the solution, so I'm not going to write this out. So now again, if I compile it, you're not going to see that. Okay, however, if I come up here and do uncomment this out, what's going to happen is instead of this big box, there's going to be a smaller box, whatever size of box is needed to contain the solution is ... Okay, so now the idea is you don't have to have like 2 copies of the exam. You have 1 copy of the exam with the solutions, and then when you want to show them the solutions, you just recompile it with the print answers command turned on. Okay, so I think this is easy. I think it's very helpful. I use it all the time. You can kind of just do everything at once or whatever without having to kind of copy and paste things everything is, because here's the thing: if you write an exam and if you have one exam that you're going to print and give to the students, and one exam that you're going to have the solutions, well, if you change the exam, then if you change one exam, then you're going to have to go and change the other exam as well. If you change the question number 3 on one exam, you're going to have to change it on the solutions copy as well. So I prefer this. I think it's easier. Okay, so this is free response questions, and again, all of the LaTeX stuff within solution or box goes. You can do whatever it is that you want to do there. So this is a brief overview on questions, on free response questions. I'm going to look at multiple choice questions in the next video, and then randomized choice is in the following video.